ratios give business owners a way to evaluate the performance of their organization and compare it to that of other organizations in the same sector. The relationship between two or more financial statement components is evaluated using ratios. They perform well when comparing data from several time periods. Ratios reflect a company's operational performance, liquidity, stability, and profitability, and give investors more pertinent information than raw financial data. Ratio analysis is a widely used and likely curriculum method that can assist analysis and investors in gaining advantageous position in the stock market. A sustainable business and goal depend on efficient planning and financial management. Ratios analysis is an effective management technique that can give financial managers greater performance standards for companies as well as a better knowledge of financial outcomes and patterns over time. Managers will employ ratio analysis to pinpoint areas of strength and weakness where initiatives and plans can be created. Others may compare your results to those of similar organizations or use ratio analysis to evaluate the management efficiency and impact of the mission. In order to get analytical information about a company, financial ratios are built utilizing numerical data gathered from financial records. It is used to compare one company's financial situation or output to that of other business. Additionally, it is a tool used by investors to investigate and discover more about the financial background of a business or an entire sector. The financial ratio calculation uses data gathered from the balance sheets, income statement, and cash flow statement. On the other hand, a company's financial situation, including earnings, liquidity, leverage, and market value, is explained by its financial ratios. This is not calculation. A ratio can be used as a clue, a warning, or a suggestion for many different issues. Financial ratios can also be categorized into a wide range of groups, such as market value ratios, profitability ratios, efficiency ratios, and leverage ratios. The use of financial ratios by managers to pinpoint areas of strength and weakness that could support strategies and initiatives highlight the importance of financial ratios for financial managers. Additionally, by using this financial ratio as a measurement tool, you might better understand financial results and trends over time and get critical cues about how successful your business is. Financial ratios are one of the most often used tools used by managers to make choices. To determine how well a company is functioning, financial ratios compare various financial statement figures. Because of how they are viewed, rather than how they are calculated, financial ratios are an important tool for business managers.
As we can see here, La Flora SDN BHD has a lower liquidity in current ratio for year 2021, which is 1.51 times compared to 2020, 2.25 times. Even though the firm current ratio in 2021 was decreased from 2020, the firm able to meet short-term obligation which is greater than 1 and have sufficient of cash. Then asset turnover ratio for year 2022 is 1.1 much compared to 2020 which is 1.78. Inventory being deducted due to least liquidity which take longer time to convert into cash. The firm able to meet short-term obligations that greater than 1 and have sufficient of cash. La Flora SDN BHD has a positive net working capital whereby the current asset is greater than current liability. However, net working capital for 2021 was decreased from net working capital in 2020. If the net working capital decreased from year to year, we can conclude that La Flora SDN BHD liquidity is decreasing. Next, La Flora has a lower inventory turnover in 2021 which is 3.29 compared to 2020 which is as much as 6.71. The number of inventory was high which means they holding too much inventory. This company takes longer time to collect its debt. In average collection period in 2021, which is by 89 days, compared to average collection period in 2020, which is by 136 days. On the contrary, average collection period in 2021 is higher than 2020. The firm need to adjusting the terms of payment in their list to make sure they are paid in a more timely manner. La Flora has higher non-current assets turnover in 2020, which is 6.04 times, compared to non-current asset turnover in 2021, 3.83 times. A lower turnover ratio in 2021 is indicative of less efficiency in managing fixed assets investment. La Flora has lower assets efficiency in total assets turnover in 2021, which is as much as 10.98 compared to total assets turnover in 2020, which is as much as 1.59. A lower turnover ratio in 2021 is indicative of less efficiency in managing fixed assets investment. La Flora has lower leverage and less in borrowing in the year of 2021 compared to 2020, which is lower as much as 3.5%. The firm borrowing in 2021 are less than 2020. This indicates that a company has more assets than debt. La Flora SDN/BHD time interest earned are getting low in 2022, which is 5.15 times compared to 2020, 10 times. This shows that companies are able to meet interest payments.
La Flora Sdn Bhd has lower profitability ratio in gross profit margin in the year 2021, which is as much as 39.72% compared to gross profit margin in the year 2020, which is as much as 35.61% in 2021. The firm able to generate 39.72% gross profit from sales, while in 2020, the firm able to generate 35.61% gross profit from sales. La Flora Sdn Bhd has lower profitability ratio in operating profit margin in the year 2020, which is as much as 15.18% compared to operating profit margin in the year 2021, which is as much as 11.63% in 2020. The firm able to generate 15.2% operating profit from sales, while in 2021, the firm able to generate 11.63% operating profit from sales. La Flora Sdn Bhd has higher profitability ratio in net profit margin for year 2021, which is as much as 7.03% compared to its net profit margin for year 2020, which is as much as 10.25%. This shows that the firm is able to generate 7.03% profit from sales in year 2021, while the firm for the year 2020, the firm is able to generate 10.25% of profit from sales. La Flora Sdn Bhd has lower return on asset in 2021, which is as much as 6.9% compared to its return on asset in 2020, which is as much as 16.32%. This shows that the firm able to generate 6.9% profit from total asset in year 2021, while in 2020, the firm able to generate 16.32% profit from a total asset. The efficiency of the firm is managing the asset is decreasing from year 2020 to 2021. La Flora Sdn Bhd has lower return on equity in 2021, which is as much as 15.83% compared to its return on equity in 2020, which is as much as 40.71%. This shows that the firm able to generate 15.83% profit from common equity in year 2021, while in 2020, the firm able to generate 40.71% profit from common equity. This shows that a business that can generate a high return on equity is considered to be a good investment, which drives up its share price. In 2021, we can conclude that significantly less liquid than the industry as a whole on its current ratios, which is 1.51 times. La Flora Sdn Bhd current ratios are lower than the industry average. It showed if the requirement rise, the company could find it difficult to pay its current debt without selling its inventory. The company won't be able to pay its current debt on schedule. The company is taking huge risks by doing this because missed payment could cause insolvency. When the company liquidity is low, it could be due to several reasons. As the ratio basically compare the current asset with current liabilities, the problem may arise from any of these two problems. Some of the reasons are the company is holding too much inventory, poor cash management, a poor debt collection, or the company is using short-term source of financing to purchase long-term assets. One of the steps that can be taken by the management to improve its liquidity position is to promote cash sales. This is because when the company is selling goods on a cash basis, it will solve most of the cash flow related problem. Discount can be given to encourage cash sales. The higher the liquidity, the easier it is for La Flora Sdn Bhd to pay its creditor on time. La Flora Sdn Bhd's inventory is well below the industry average in year 2021. It indicates that the company is less efficient, has poor sales, has excess inventory, and therefore takes a longer time to convert the inventory into sales. This ratio can also be expressed in terms of number of days or months, and hence referred to as the inventory conversion period. For example, La Flora Sdn Bhd turnover ratio is 3.29 times. It's also the same as 360 days divided by 3.29. Thus, equal to 109.42 days. This means the company is taking about 109.42 days to return its inventory into sales. When a company inventory turnover ratio is lower than other companies or the previous year result, for example, this could be because the company is holding too much inventory that is overstocking. This can occur if the company does not have a proper inventory control system due to poor inventory management. Equity ratios measure the percentage of borrowing used compared with total equity. La Flora Sdn Bhd used more borrowing and less equity as the sources of financing in year 2021. La Flora Sdn Bhd used more borrowing compared with its competitor in the industry, which is only 129.29% on its debt to equity ratios, while the industry average is 102.06%. The company may be borrowing more than is necessary. This could be due to the firm's high dividend payout ratios. The company has to rely more on external financing, for example, borrowing. A firm should have an optimum mixture of sources of financing. This will result in the lowest cost of capital and hence maximize firm value. The gross profit margin shows the percentage of sales remaining after deducting the cost of making such sales. For La Flora Sdn Bhd in 2021, a ratio of 35.61% means that the company is making Rm0.3561 gross profit for every 1 ringgit of sales made. The higher the ratios, the better it is. It shows the efficiency of the company in controlling its cost of goods sold. La Flora Sdn Bhd is as profitable as other companies in the industry. Profitability ratio measures how effectively the firm uses its assets to make profit. They show the profit earned from every RM1 of sales made or the profit earned per RM1 of investment in assets. This ratio also indicates the firm's efficiency in controlling costs and its pricing policy.
Now we proceed to the conclusion part. La Flora Bhd was the former most successful manufacturing firm, but owing to the current pandemic, the company suffered an anticipated dip that resulted in a considerable amount of loss. The ratio generated in the data comparison shows this disparity. AVA Bank Finance, in our judgment as the team head of financial officer, we would not lead to the firm owning to the diversity of segment that La Flora Bhd is unable to handle. Our staff will evaluate loan requests based on 4 factors, which is liquidity ratio, efficiency ratio, profitability ratio, and leverage ratio. The first reason we were unable to approve the loan request is because La Flora Bhd liquidity ratio do not reflect its ability to convert asset into cash, which is not sustainable. As we can see, the liquidity in 2021 is lower than in the year of 2020, with 2.25 times in 2020 falling to 1.51 times in 2021. This makes it more difficult for the corporation to pay its creditors. This indicates that the firm liquidity ratio is fluctuating. It also reveals that they would be unable to meet their current financial obligations. Furthermore, all efficiency ratio components shows negative outcome in 2021 as compared to 2020. For example, La Flora Bhd inventory turnover fell from 6.71 to 3.29 from 2020 to 2021. This indicates poor sales and consequently surplus inventory, and it takes longer to convert inventory to sales. As a result, This is also why we are considering not submitting the loan request to the corporation. Next, profitability ratio are important in loan approval since they assess the company capacity to generate profit and sales. Lafora Berhad generated a lower net profit margin in 2021 compared to the previous year, falling from 10.25% in 2020 to 7.03% in 2021. This demonstrates Lafora Berhad's inability to create significant sales, which would result in a bigger profit. Furthermore, we can anticipate the company's ability to repay its debt based on Lafora Berhad leverage ratio. The debt to equity ratio of Lafora Berhad has reduced slightly in 2021 compared to 2020, falling from 149.49% in 2020 to 139.29% in 2021, reflect of significantly favorable debt to equity ratio, indicating that if the loan is accepted, they will be able to service their debt. Finally, according to the estimates, Lafora Berhad has a low growth rate which may not please their shareholder. AVA Bank Finance has suggested a restricted ability to repay loans. This is due to the fact that practically all of the components in all four management have more bad repercussions than positive benefits. The corporation has only one positive improvement in leverage ratio and negative gains in the other three measures.